How's it going, everybody? This is Kinema. Right there. Yeah, so sorry about that. Actually got quite a bit set up, and I wanted to kind of show it off a little bit. And there's a reason why, last episode we did the this guy, and right above it, so we got our charging Certus quartz area. We have our stuff for our seeds to make our pure Certus quartz and Fluix crystals. And then I got this. This is an inscriber. Now this was on a guy's name. I think it was like Gork Duck Farmer. I've made these before, and I've made my own design, and I kind of liked his because the it only had one input. So all of this actually only really used, just one channel coming off your cables. So we could, off this one run going to down here, I was able to put that. We have it going into up the dropper up here, the open crate, and then we have both of those guys on each side. So that one, and this is all running to here. So we've used 6 of the 8 cables, so not bad. You may see another thing down there. I'll explain that. So the way this works is it's very simple. Everything basically goes back into this ME interface and out of the ME interface. So it will eject from here. It will actually eject the contents in the chest. There's filters set up along each of these on what to extract out of the chest. So that's one thing that actually made it quite nice. Is there's the one chest everything drops all the pieces into. Along here, they go into the corresponding, this takes gold since it's a logic press. This is the calculation, so it takes the diamonds. Or no, it takes the pure Certus quartz. And then engineering just takes the diamonds. And then there's the silicone one, which takes the silicone. Hard choice there. And then we have the one down here that actually crafts it. Now this actually has the... Oh, let me finish up here. So this basically does the same thing. This exports everything. So pretty simple there. You did put the filters on here as well. Basically so it would stop everything from going into the wrong chest or the wrong inscriber. So it's pretty easy to set up, pretty easy to understand. Then from here we have, going into this one, we have one dropping off. Oh, not the strong box. There we go. We have one dropping off basically the circuits, another one dropping off the redstone, and another one down there dropping off the silicon. So it makes it up and crafts it, and then it exports it from here, puts it back in the ME interface. So one channel taken up and a pretty awesome system. So it did take a lot of the item conduit, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use it, but I decided it was what I would do. So I figured I may make another one of these on camera. They're pretty easy to set up. They're molecular assemblers. So what this is the crafting station for your AE system. Now, the reason why I went ahead and set this up is I wanted to kind of do some crafting, show a couple things on how it looked, and then then start setting some stuff up. So you can use multiple of these. Now I've seen some people use one ME interface per this, kind of speed up crafting. I actually have 4 ME interfaces, and I can put a 5th one up here to craft things. So while it's crafting something in there, the other one's not using. So it's pretty instant for crafting. So it actually goes through the pieces really quick. But these are set up. See, this actually will break all my bars down into the nuggets. As you can see what I have in here. So in order to craft these very large ones, I think I do need to expand the storage size for one of these. But I got 4, and I don't know, without reviewing the last episode, I got 4 quadrants. So I don't think this was in the last episode. So I did set up 4 of these crafting storage or crafting cells, which are basically just the crafting unit and the storage cell. Now I added a monitor to it, so you can see in here, you can see the monitors. So when we pick something to craft, so I've actually already crafted up 6 of these guys. So if we take this, let's go ahead and say we want to make one of these. It's going to show, okay, it needs 432 sand. Basically, it needs to probably make that into glass. It needs to make the glass into panes. It needs to, grab some iron. Instead of using some of the nuggets, the ore berries actually categorizes that. I didn't know that when I was actually smelting it up. So I may leave those kind of like that if the patterns will use them. So and so forth. You can see it makes each piece, it needs to make 128 of those. And this is really just for the 2, so I already have 6 redstone solar panels. So just for the 2, it's going to make 128 of those, 16 of those. So let's go ahead and craft this thing up. Take a look at what it's doing. So we'll see over here on our crafting monitor that it's got one of those to make. Okay, and we can kind of get an idea. Let's walk around here. Was it this one? Yeah, so you can kind of get an idea of exactly what it's doing. So it's crafting, breaking down the steel nuggets, just how many that's stored. This will go away once it's got it all into nuggets. There we go. It's crafting up the glass, so you see the sand going down. Now if you look at this down here, you can see it's crafting up each component. So there's the glass, and it's just making tons and tons of glass. It kind of stays in there. So you see there's the switching over, making some of the ingots. So that one crafting bench is cycling through all of these different components. So it's making that, and so you can see it's actually flip-flopping between those. It's still making that. So that's good. So it's really getting the base pieces, and then it should start making some of these others. Let's see the lead, it's using that. Now I have put in patterns. Once we get down here, we'll see. I have put in patterns to automatically make steel by charcoal dust, and it will automatically put charcoal in the pulverizer to make dust. So the one thing I do have to kind of watch out for is make sure I don't have anything really producing charcoal at the moment. So I need to get that to make the steel. I got tons of iron for the ingots, and you can see here a lot of iron there stored for it. So it's still making all the components. It's basically crafting and getting all of these. You can see I need 330 more of those. So it's slowly crafting. I think the bottleneck here is definitely the smelting of the glass. Because as soon as it gets the glass smelted, you can see there's stored 4. It went away. So as soon as it gets the glass smelted, it is turning it into the glass panes, which we need 400 something. So I did go ahead and take sand, and you can pulverize cobblestone into sand. I have like 300 something thousand cobble. So it will go ahead, and if I didn't have any sand, just to try out this system, I went ahead and made like 500 sand in each of these 4 quadrants to make sure all 4 monitors work. So had plenty of stuff going on there, and it's kind of finishing up that. This crafting monitor will only show the main item that you actually craft. If we start something else, let's say we start actually one of these. You'll see it'll have that start. You'll see that kind of show up on another one. So it may make that fairly quick, make all the components it needs. We should see it's already there, putting it together, and that should go away. Yeah. As soon as it hit the ME inventory, that monitor probably went out. And we still got that going. Oh, we can click on it from there. That's good. So you can see stored 6, that's done with the glass. It's cooking up the panes. still hasn't made this. It's trying to make all of the photovoltaic cells. You can see it's got to make 183 more of those. Crafting scheduled, so it's making tons of nuggets. So we should be seeing that iron go down as it's making quite a bit of nuggets. So yeah, so it's doing its thing, but this is by far faster than what we had over at the snow base. Not so future home. And you know, I'm pretty happy with it. So this would give us a third solar panel, third one of these. So another 500. So we'd be basically generating what, 1536, which is good because when I last looked at use this tool, we're using right now we are making stuff, so this is a little off. I think last time I looked we were basically around 220 RF a tick. So right now we're still doing pretty good with the running off one of these solar panels for this entire AE system. But you know, it may come to a point where we're not. It is funny how it makes, I guess it's smart. It makes sense that it makes all the base components first. And once it probably makes all of these, then it will start making it scheduling these panels. So the hardest part about this electrum, I'm like burning through it, and I think it's only item selector. Where's the electrum? Yeah, see, unfortunately I didn't see any other way to get it, which kind of stinks. Yeah, so it's making those now. So I guess it made one of those now. It made two of those. A lot of stuff. And we'll probably put that back with the other chest. Now, I thought about making that into a helmet just for as a quick recharge. I don't think it would be that quick of a recharge though, because I would probably need the top of the line one for that recharge. But still, so let's come down and take a look at the. Yeah, you can see it's crafting in there. So I'll probably fill up those four and maybe add a fifth one on top, and that would almost max us for this line. If I added one more, that would put this at about 9, and we could add one more thing to it, but not much. So where am I going? Scheduled. Needs to make 7 more of those. Okay, so it did make a redstone panel, and that's good. And some of these stored things are just extra. It should dump all that back in the AE system, or ME system, whatever you want to call it. It should dump all that back. And once it gets done, so you can see I have quite a lot more patterns here. I did talk about some of the ingots, some of the glass, making the electrum grit, and also making the electrum nuggets and ingots when I need that. We have charcoal. I'm going to have to go out and get tons and tons of charcoal just for the pulverized charcoal dust when I need to, do something to steel. So it does take some time to set up the crafting, but now if I wanted to make more of these, I don't have to, and it's done. I don't have to actually sit there and do tons and tons of crafting. Solar, and we do have one of these. Very nice. Let's go see if I can hook that up. You can see we don't have any more. You can see all those that we see in there that all have craft by it. So pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. And I'm probably going to keep all my power out here. I'll probably get some tesseracts maybe for power transportation. I'm told they do a lot more than these transceivers. But right now, basically, those transceivers seem to be keeping up with everything. I will probably need to upgrade the cabling over here. What I may do is just upgrade the cabling to the dimensional transceiver. Oh, is it not keeping up? Maybe I'll do some of that this episode. But we have the third one there. So, sun's going to come up. That should start generating. Maybe that's why it's holding on a little bit, basically, because it's got to get some sun here. But I wouldn't mind getting those cables upgraded, because those hardened pipes that are on there are only doing about 800 a tick. So that's, I mean, I'm still not draining. I would drain in here first, which is good. Probably drain in here first, actually, which is good. So I don't know, but we have another one of the solar panels. So not including the windmills, not including the 4 water wheels, just in the 3 solar panels, over 1500 RF per tick. And we're definitely not using that, so we're pretty good. And if you want me to go a little bit more in depth on some of these things, I can. As you can see, we do have 4 ME interfaces along that molecular assembler. So it does have, what was that? Oh. So it does have, if we look in here, in the ME interface panel, we can see this molecular similar, and this is how everything shows up. And the other thing on it is nice is you can actually type, so you can see charger, molecular, so you can kind of do a fast search for what you need. So it's pretty nice. I wouldn't mind having, I was thinking about hooking up an export for all my ore to just export this straight into the pulverizer. I still may do that. That way it kind of instantly breaks it down into the dust. I may leave a lot of it as dust and craft ingots as needed. The main reason is that way I can kind of get into the get into some of the other stuff that I want to set up. So probably what we can do on this episode is some more autocrafting. And let's look for noisy. Let's look for some smart cables. I'm running a little low on, which is fine. Some interface. We don't need that many. What else do we need? An export bus. That works. Actually, let's get some applied. Let's get some more cables, actually. So where are the smart cables? We need to make some of these. 24 of them. Okay. So we've got those up there. That should be fine. So the one thing I want to do, and this is going to be another thing that I will probably clean up after the fact, but I wanted to kind of show y'all, is automate fluids. Basically, we want to automate these guys, Enderman. The production of them, or the production, more or less, not automate Enderman, but automate the Enderm. So here's the resonant fluid. Yeah. So let's break those down. We got cables, so eventually this will probably go beside I'll make a room off and put it beside here, but for right now, we need a spot with at least 2. Let's do this, actually. What do we have there? Magma Crucible. Okay. And oh, there's already lots of stuff on that cable. Whoa. Okay, forget you, hover. So this is going to be a real dirty setup. So what I have planned is this will have open up from the top, this one down in the bottom. So it's actually pushing the fluids down, and we'll actually have a export bus going into here, and we will move some cables like a so. That register? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, and then we will have an ME interface probably like that. Now we need to get these guys power, which I can probably pull off of that temporarily until I move everything. So let's go ahead and get this powered up. So what this is going to do is, this is something that I started doing along in another world with AE, and I kind of liked it. So what we need to do is, let's get some power. Energy. Okay, get some power. We need, and what will we make? We'll do the Endurum, I guess. We don't have much of the shiny metal, but we can do some of the Endurum. So what I need to make, and I've repeated that a couple of times, is we need to have an upgrade card. We need to have, is it the fuzzy? Is it a fuzzy card? It may be a fuzzy card. Do I have any of the advanced ones? Nope. We'll make 2 of those. And we got ourselves a fuzzy card. That should be right. Then we need to do a pattern for a couple of things, actually. So Endurum, if we look up Endurum, and you know what I need to do? Actually, let's do the fuzzy card first. And let's make some acceleration cards. Applied. Acceleration. This guy right here. Yeah, we don't have the pattern terminal is a little weird with crafting, but we may have to put a capacity card in there too. Okay, so for export, acceleration and the fuzzy. So if we, oh, we didn't actually need that yet. That's for other things. We can put this. Okay, so this should, we open it up to the top. This is going to start generating, it'll keep this filled with ender pearls. Okay. And where am I going? That should be power. Okay, so it's always going to keep that filled with ender pearls. This, oh wow, that actually holds quite a lot. So this will actually fill up, and this will fill up over here. And it will just constantly fill in. That's what I'm not worried about, because I'm actually going to make 3 of these setups. They're going to be mirrored. I will probably figure out the best way to do it is stack them like this, put an ME connection at the top, at the bottom, and the power on the back side of these, and then find a way to kind of run them together. So this we have here. We got this going. Let's get a bucket. And let's throw the bucket in there. And we got a bucket of resident ender. What are we doing? Pretty good on time? Yeah, we are. So the endurium blend, endurium. We got the bucket. Where is this stuff right here? So we need to make this in order to, and that makes 4 of them. So we need to make that in order to actually make endurium. So if we shift click this in here, you can see it's got the, the tin dust. I don't want it to use that. Because I didn't have a whole lot of that. I do have a whole lot of pulverized tin. Okay, that should be good. So now we'll go ahead and craft a pattern to make this. So you may wonder, okay, well, it's got the resident ender. How are we going to get that? Okay, well, to get resident ender, let's take a bucket. So what I'm going to do is say a bucket, go in the processing mode equals resident ender. So we'll make that a pattern. And actually, how much iron do we have? Not much. I probably need to make some more buckets, because if I want to craft a bunch of stuff, then and I guess I technically could have put this up there. So we have this. We want to make the resident ender. Okay. So, and sorry about the background noise, if you can hear that. And here we'll put, since I only have the 4, this one's not being used much, so this one will get this pattern. So it will use the shiny, the resident net, the resident ender bucket, and etc. So let's put all of this back in here. And let's say we want to make some endurium blend. And I don't have any, so we'll actually just craft 1. We can't craft just 1, so it is going to make 4. That's weird. I did put that back there like that. I wonder if it won't matter. I wonder if it will just use the dust anyway. So we can just say 1. It's still going to make 4 because that's the minimal amount that it can make. And we already have the resident ender bucket in there. So let's start that. So you can see now we have 4. Okay. So now we don't have any. Let's say we want to make 1 again. It's got to craft 1. So it needs an actual empty bucket, which it has it back in the system. It's got this. It's got to craft this. So the way this works, and this is actually going to move way too fast probably for us to tell, is it will actually just, we'll have this set up. It'll just drop an empty bucket in here. That's all this thing will do. You know what? Did I set this up right? I did not. I did not. Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm not going out. Wait, it should have. been a while since I did this setup. And you can see it's probably still waiting to craft that, right? It is. Yep. Let's make another. Input. Not input. Import. Ah. I need to make a pattern for that now. And we got those. So I actually may have to change this up a bit. Okay, so that did pull it out of there. And we can see that's gone off there, so we should have 8. And we do. So let's go ahead and do that again. And I may need to call this an episode. We'll go ahead and start that again. You can see we have 12. So that time it did pretty much instantly. So between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and probably craft up quite a lot of these, actually. I'm going to stop that because I'm going to probably use what... It's a lot of resident ender. So I'll probably try to use quite a bit of that and make a lot of bars so I just have them on standby. That way I can move this without losing all that liquid. But I'm going to set up 3 of these setups and I'll figure out how to do the wiring. Like I said, I may continue off of this one. But one's going to have resident ender. Another one's going to have redstone. And another one is also going to have the probably glowstone, liquid glowstone. Because that's another one that some of the patterns actually recommend. So anyway, I need to go see what's going on because we got a very upset baby. And I do apologize. I know it's kind of a little unprofessional in the videos. But it's been going on a little too long. And unset baby usually means unset wife yelling at her. Maybe. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this this episode. Oh. Hello. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I was pretty quick. I didn't really cover too much, but I was showing kind of how this worked. It's pretty easy to see the setup, like I said. But we did get to do that on camera, which this is something that I thought of myself. I didn't. It's probably been out there, but if you go back to some of my old Hermitcraft Mod Sauce series, it has that. But anyway, it's getting a lot worse. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kinema, and I'll talk to you later.